So we're back at it again, and I promise I'm trying not to make this channel me just responding to people hating on Caitlin Clark, but Cheryl Swoopes just can't stop lying.
To me, what Caitlin's been able to do in a short period of time has been very impressive. Because I know people are like, oh my God, you said she wouldn't be good. But I didn't say she wouldn't be good. What I said was I didn't think Caitlin or Angel would come into the league and dominate immediately, which I don't think either of them did.
Respectfully, there is absolutely no way, even when we're trying to sit here and play semantics about dominating, there's no way that anyone could ever leave this season in saying that both Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese didn't dominate. You would have to further explain what dominance means for you to not sit here and say that a player who is leading the league in assists while averaging 19 to 20 points didn't dominate that season.
When we're talking about Caitlin, we're talking about when she said dominate. When we're saying dominate, we're thinking what she does in college.
Score the ball.
She's dominated college. Right?
No, she dominated in college.
She dominated. So when she says you won't come here and dominate off the rip, averaging 17 is not dominated compared to averaging 30-something for 4 straight years.
If that's the standard, that means that Kelsey Plum can never dominate because she averaged like 30-something in college. That means that Candace Parker never dominated because in college she averaged like 21, 22 points in her senior year, her last year in college. She's never done that professionally. That means that Cheryl Swoopes never dominated because in college she finished her last year averaging like 28 points and then she went to WNBA and never did that. Also, as a sidebar, if anyone thought that Caitlin Clark was going to come into the WNBA and as a rookie, matter of fact, at any point in her career, that she was going to average 30 and 8, please stop talking to that person.
But that was also like the first half of the season. I feel like after the break, I still don't think she's dominating, but she's a different player than she was in the first half of the season.
Bro, there's no way. There's no way that you know what Caitlin Clark is averaging post All-Star break and you still don't think that she's dominating. To say that someone in the W is averaging 24 and 9 and that's not dominating, bro, we're losing the plot at that point. We're losing the plot. She is genuinely stringing along some of the greatest stretches the league has ever seen by a wide margin, and you're still saying that's not dominant? What are we talking about?
I think leading the WNBA in assists is dominating. When you talk about her already leading the W in assists, and a lot of the assists that she could have gotten, now turnovers. She's throwing pitch aheads, wide open layups. They're smoking them. This could be 13 a game. This could be 14 a game. Like they're literally just dropping passes.
Bro, Rashad McCann is correct, bro. There's just no way that someone could come in and lead the league in a statistical category and you not walk away from the season being dominant. In the discussion, point blank, period. We are walking away from this season with Caitlin Clark not just being one of the best passers in the league, but also one of the best scorers in the league as well in her rookie season.
So if her stats, when we're saying she won't do this in the W, she averaged 31.6, 7.4 rebounds, 9 assists, right? Did anyone expect her to do that in WNBA?
Those three? No.
Right? So she didn't do that?
No.
Now, if we say her stats are today, what?
20 points, 8.4 assists, 6 rebounds.
That's crazy.
But that's crazy.
5.6
Those are
turnovers,
hell of a
too.
number.
Those are hell of a numbers.
Rookie.
But to me, that's not
Period.
dominating.
Yeah, it's only not dominating because she's a rookie.
I think a lot of people, especially new people, but somehow even ex-WNBA players, are speaking about a lot of this shit through the lens of an NBA-like conversation. Anyone, period, in WNBA history who is giving you 19, 5, and 5 will be doing something that we've never seen before. So there's no way that you can sit here and confidently say, oh man, 19, 5, 5, those are crazy, those are really good numbers. No, those are historic numbers.
No rookie is in dominating form, right? When we're saying dominating, you go through history and say, well, Candace Parker dominated her rookie year.
Yeah.
Cap.
You don't feel that.
She was great her rookie year. She was better than expected her rookie year. But if you take her rookie year compared to her dominating year, is it?
First and foremost, just because it's not your best year doesn't mean that it wasn't a dominant year. That makes no sense at all. Second of all, to even use Candace Parker in this conversation is so dumb because you can actively say from a statistical standpoint that her rookie season might have actually been her best year. In Candace Parker's rookie season, where she not only won Rookie of the Year but also MVP, she averaged 18.5 points, 9.5 rebounds, 3 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks, and shot 52% from the field. That is the highest field goal percentage she's ever had in her career. It is the 4th most points she's ever averaged in her career, and she also recorded 2.3 blocks in her rookie season, which is tied for the most in her career. You could genuinely argue that her rookie season was her best season. You could argue that.
When the word dominating came out, it was basically, for me, is she going to be doing what she does in college as a rookie? No. Is she going to be doing that at some point? Probably. Is there going to be a point in time where she averages 28 and 9? Yeah.
Here's a good question.
No,
it should be, yes. And that's when you say dominating.
I don't think people thoroughly understand how ridiculous of a bar that is. If you are expecting what is considered to be dominant is for somebody to average 28 points per game throughout a WNBA season, there's no way that you ever could come close to believing that would be the bar for being dominant in the WNBA because no one has ever done that before. This season, with A'ja Wilson averaging 27, she's the first player ever to do that. She's the first player to ever average more than 25 points. There's only 2 players in league history who have averaged 25 or more. That's Diana Taurasi for 1 season, and this year, A'ja Wilson. This idea that, the bar that I'm going to set is 28 points per game, bro. No one has done that. Before the season started, no one has ever done that. Second, if that's the bar, that literally means you're contradicting what you said in the first place. Because if you are genuine about, I don't want to set the expectations too high, now all of a sudden you're setting the expectations so high that she would have to average 28 and 9? 28 and 9? That's the bar you want to set for her when it comes to dominance? That's crazy.
What guard, other than Caitlin, is dominating the league right now?
Great question.
What guard, other than Caitlin, is dominating the league right now?
Dominating?
Guard.
I don't know
But
if
you
there
have
is
to
a
compare.
guard.
You got to compare to what they do, Alyssa.
I'm just saying guard.
Well,
Alyssa,
Alyssa,
One,
really a guard.
Alyssa's a 4.
So here's what I would tell you.
Okay, so
you're
guard?
saying, yeah.
So you got Enrique,
Enrique.
you got
Kelsey,
you got Kennedy.
Enrique, probably Enrique.
Enrique for
but
sure.
we have to dominating has to be what your attributes are. Right. So
I'm dominating at what I'm good at.
What are you
My
good at?
thing is this,
And
to
Caitlin's
me,
not dominating.
scorer like
what
them.
she's good at.
The player that
This nigga Gil don't know what he's talking about. He brought up Alyssa Thompson as a bro. Like this nigga literally guard. Yeah, nigga, guard. He said guard. Name a guard. You can't though. You can't because y'all know for a fact if you name a guard, there's not a guard this year that is posting up numbers that's noticeably better than what Caitlin is doing. Matter of fact, there ain't too many guards that's posting numbers that's even comparable to what Caitlin is doing for you to identify a separator of what dominance looks like in contrast to what she's doing. So now you're willing to downplay all the guards in the W right now to make it seem like, oh, well, son, I guess no one. But you just sat here and told me that the league was so talented that we shouldn't expect them to come into dominant. Now all of a sudden, shit, no one dominant. Ain't nobody dominant right now. Shit, ain't nobody dominant in the league right now as a guard. Nigga, are you serious?
For her skill, Enrique, right? She's like, she's supposed to average 20. Like she's dominating.
Nigga, there's no way. There's no way that you're going to sit here and say. And what's crazy is that again, I don't think Gil even understands the numbers that we are posting up here to make these arguments. But if you're saying Enrique is dominant, which I'm not even denying, if that's the bar of what dominance is, look at their numbers, compare them to one another. And how can you tell me that Enrique is dominating, but Caitlin Clark isn't dominating when statistically their numbers are virtually the same?
When Jordan came in the game, right, he was second or third in scoring in the league, third or second in scoring, right? So you can say, well, he's
Caitlin's number 1 in assists in the league.
But she's a scorer.
So what? What does that matter? She's still the leader in assists.
What in the fuck is Gilbert Arenas saying right now? What are you saying? Because you're a scorer, you expect her to dominate scoring, but if she dominates in another statistical category, all of a sudden she's not dominant anymore? That makes no sense at all. But even by your logic, that she has to dominate in the category she's supposed to be dominating in, then Angel Reese will be dominant, my nigga. If the standard is you have to dominate in a category you're supposed to dominate in, Angel Reese, the category she's supposed to dominate is rebounding. She's leading the league in rebounding. She's grabbing the most boards ever in WNBA history. For those who do not know, before this season began, there was never a player who averaged more than 12 rebounds a game. She's averaging 13. 13.
Bro, what the fuck does that have to do with me being at the top, dominating at this category?
That's not
regardless if my skill is fucking guitaring and I'm over here fucking drumming. Okay. If I'm killing in the fucking drums, this ain't my skill. Shit, I'm dominating in this now.
So, question for you.
I'm a good drummer and a good guitarist.
Question for you.
I dominate this shit. I'm good at both.
Okay. Question for you. As a #1 draft pick.
Y'all zoom in to that nigga Gil. Oh my God. This nigga Gil's like, when you put it that way, I guess I might be fucking wrong. I might be completely off in this entire conversation.
But before the start of the season, if I said, Cheryl, Angel Reese is going to break the rebounding record and Caitlin Clark's going to break the assist record, that would be a far stretch and a reach of what was going to happen.
You can't say that because you didn't do that.
If I said she's going to set the
If you would
rebounding
have said it
record,
like that, I probably would have been like, okay, well, let me think what that record is.
I'm done, bro. They are just lying for the sake of lying. Nigga, if somebody came in and said, these rookies are going to be the best at two, let's even wrap Cameron Brink in this. Because Cameron Brink was about to lead the league in blocks. 3 rookies leading in 3 different statistical categories. And you're sitting here saying, I don't know, man. I don't know. We don't know what we would have said.
Leading the league in scoring. I mean, in assists. We'd have to go back and say, I don't know.
With 18 in the league,
we wouldn't have had a definite.
We have a tweet. Carrington said, hey, listen up, ladies.
Who?
Carrington.
But time out. No.
Ladies.
Make sure you get the tweet right.
And Cheryl Swoopes is mad nasty. And this is why I said Gil doesn't even know what he's talking about, because the irony of it all, as you're setting this shit up like, oh, no one didn't really put that out there, so we don't really know what people thought. Irony of it is that there actually was a WNBA player who was mocking Caitlin Clark fans for saying that she was going to come into the league and lead the league in assists in her rookie season. Y'all be aware now. She might come in and lead the league in assists, but she was doing it jokingly. And of course, Tom's came in. She was like, hey, stop playing with me. No, you know my body. And guess who was sitting there laughing right along? Yeah, Miss Cheryl Swoopes.
So 3 WNBA MVPs in your career, would you consider each of those 3 seasons as dominant seasons for yourself?
No.
I can't. Bro, Cheryl Swoopes is willing to lie about her own career before she even admits that Caitlin is dominant. Do you know how fucking insane you have to be to lie about your own career? For those who don't know, bro, Cheryl Swoopes is one of the greatest. Let's not ever get any of this fucked up. Cheryl Swoopes is one of the greatest women to ever grace that league. You can easily argue she's top 10 ever. For those who don't know, bro, she got 3 league MVPs, 4 championships. Of those 3 league MVPs, she also has 3 DPOYs. 2 years overlap with one another where she won MVP and DPOY in the same season. And now she's sitting here saying, because she don't want to admit, because she knows, she's been on Twitter, she's seen plenty of people compare her stats to Caitlin Clark's stats. And if you do that, you start to realize, oh, well, if we calling what you doing dominant, I guess then Caitlin is dominant. But to avoid even giving her credit, she's willing to downplay who she was.
Okay. See, well, we need perspective in life.
No.
So you were the best player in the W, but you don't think...
But I don't think I dominated.
Who dominated?
I thought, I don't know.
So then he asks her who dominated. Well, I don't know. I don't really know. So again, what was the premise of all of this? Your whole argument was how great the league is, how much talent is in the league. Now all of a sudden, someone can win 3 MVPs, 3 DPOYs, 4 championships. They not dominant. Then I asked you, well, who's a dominant guard in today's league? Oh, there ain't no dominant guards in today's league. All right, yo, if you were the best, if you won MVPs and DPOYs and you weren't dominant, who was dominant back then? I don't know. It sounded like nobody fucking dominant then. What the fuck? But see, that's not the truth because several women have been dominant. The reason why she don't want to say their names, because as soon as she says their names, she knows for a fact everyone is going to sit there and compare their stats and say, hey, if she's dominant, how is she not dominant?
And that's why, Cheryl, even with your 3 MVPs, one of those years was the most dominant of those 3. But even here, you say, I don't feel like, but you were literally the best player in this, you know.
Right. Because I think you can be the best player and not be the most dominant.
Yeah.
And the reason why I say that is because I don't have it in front of me, but like I wasn't the leading scorer.
You did lead the league in scoring when you won MVP in 2000. Not only did you lead the league in scoring, you led the league in steals as well. Even dare downplay yourself just because you don't want to admit that you were wrong. Bro, that's scary. I'd rather tear down my legacy and everyone else's legacy in WNBA history, not be able to identify anyone who's been dominant just because I don't have the gumption to put my pride aside and admit that I was wrong about Caitlin Clark and she is dominant. For those who don't know, that is a definition of self-destruction. Get her the fuck out this conversation. You're playing the role of someone who was attempting to tear down greatness, marginalize greatness, even if it comes at the expense of your own legacy, just because you don't want to admit that you were wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, Caitlin Clark is dominant. She is doing something literally that the league has never seen before. Caitlin Clark is the only player in WNBA history to finish a full season averaging 19 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds. She's broken the record for the most 3-pointers. She's leading the league in assists. Even when it comes to the points argument, I don't think people thoroughly understand, like, asking a WNBA player to average 20, that's not commonplace. There's only like 30 players in WNBA history who've averaged 20 or more. Like, averaging 20 points in the W is not common at all. But what Cheryl Swoopes did in this, that's disgusting. It's actually disgusting, it's disappointing. And the fact, if you are any guard in today's league, she said you're not dominant. If you're anybody back in her league when she was playing, she said that you weren't dominant. Let that sink in.